The AFL CIO debate, where Democrats go to pander to the union vote and the working class vote, which they claim to represent and then don't. I'm Anthony Atamanuik, and this is Debate Porridge.
Every day of my life, I sit at the kitchen table across from the woman who devoted 36 years of her life to my family, and I can't afford to pay for her health care. What's wrong with America, and what will you do to change it?
It took place in Chicago at Soldiers Field, and as Hillary Clinton pointed out, boy, her daddy would be so proud.
My late father was a fanatic Bears fan, and the idea that any of his children would be on the 10-yard line in Soldier Field is an extraordinary accomplishment as far as I'm concerned.
Not that she's running for president, because apparently that doesn't really matter, but that she made it to a football field. So here's an audience that was really engaged in the political process. These weren't people who couldn't get into the standby line for Maury Povich. A lot of like, and I have to say, in this day and age, I'm putting away my imaginary cell phone. In this day and age, I think that there's a point where it's not so fascinating to be on camera anymore. Keith Olbermann was the host, and I have to say, a prime pick. Love Olbermann. I enjoy on his show when he does his little 10-minute rants to the president, where he goes, "You, sir, you, sir, you, sir." So the two big issues in the AFL-CIO debate, because it's a very different debate, I don't really deal with social issues as much. So mostly healthcare and issues like that. But the two that stood out was, of course, infrastructure, because, again, a bridge collapsed, and everybody had something to say about infrastructure and building more, but no one would give a real specific reason, except for Joe Biden. Joe Biden's really big on saying, hey, we don't need to study this anymore. Let's just throw money at it, and I'll show up, and I'll wear a hard hat.
We don't need any more studies. 560,000 bridges, 27% of them are in bad shape.
Joe Biden is a lot like that uncle that comes to visit that you're happy to see him for the first 5 minutes, like an uncle from Maine. You know, he lives somewhere up in Maine. He's not really socialized very much, hangs out around a lot of granite and dead trees. And now he's down here visiting you, and the first 10 minutes it's really interesting until he just seems to stay way too aggressive when talking about stuff and keeps eyeing your mom or your sister and keeps asking them to go down to the basement to look for boxes.
To improve our health, to create jobs, and to lessen the kind of national security problems.
Wow, Chris Dodd, the most hated man in politics. Like, you'd think that he would be like, he looks like a grandpa you go fishing with, but he really sounds and behaves like Admiral Akbar from Return of the Jedi. He's like, it's a trap! There's a serious part of this too, which is that even this process here is debunking the falseness of the political discourse in this country. And I think what's been clearer than anything between all these debates and the logo debate as well is that the falseness of candidates' behavior and their answers is so transparent now. And I think we can almost thank the Bush administration for giving us such a heaping truckload of bullshit that now it's very easy to see when you're being fed a spoonful. The AFL, CIO, CIA, YouTube, NSA, wiretapping, Abu Ghraib, human Arab pyramid, PP contest, was everybody won, really, and everybody lost, including the audience. Joe Biden got booed. Hillary got booed. Well, we know Admiral Akbar got booed. And if there's anything I could say is that, for 15 years, I have been suffering from the conservative attack machine. But you know what? I'm your girl. You, sir. You, sir. Oh, I'm Anthony Atamanuik. All right.
We don't have enough nurses to staff our hospitals. There are millions of unemployed, well, that too, but millions of uninsured.